Big history war reignites. Abu Azmi praises Aurangzeb, faces suspension as MLA.
जा रही है। औरंगजेब रहमतुल्लाह अलैह ने बहुत सारी मंदिरें बनवाई हैं।
औरंगजेब क्रूर शासक नहीं
बिल्कुल नहीं, बिल्कुल क्रूर शासन नहीं बनता।
अबू आझमी देशद्रोही है, देशद्रोही है आणि म्हणून या देशद्रोहाला या सभागृहामध्ये बसण्याचा अधिकार।
After backlash, SP Neta apologizes.
मैं अपने पूरे स्टेटमेंट को वापस लेता हूँ। असेंबली चलना चाहिए, असेंबली में बहुत सारे काम है। इन इशू पर असेंबली रोकी जाए, मैं समझता हूँ ये महाराष्ट्र की जनता का बहुत सारा काम रुकेगा।
But Congress backs Azmi's Aurangzeb praise.
तो इतिहास पढ़िए ना, गजेटियर उठाइए बनारस का, देखिए उन्होंने बनवाए कि नहीं बनवाए। तो जो इतिहास के अंदर लिखा हुआ है आप उसको मिटा नहीं सकते हैं। आप एक फिल्म मिला करके कि जो इतिहास को उल्टा सीधा बताने का काम कर रहे हैं, ये मत करिए, अधूरा ज्ञान नुकसान देता है।
Maratha icon versus Mughal tyrant face-off. Top focus on 5 Live.
So first it was Abu Azmi, a Samajwadi Party leader from Maharashtra, and now you have Imran Masood, a Congress leader from Saharanpur in Uttar Pradesh, who's praising Aurangzeb versus not just an Indian icon, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, but do keep in mind that Aurangzeb, during his 5-decade-long reign, was responsible for the beheading not just of Sambhaji Maharaj, but also Guru Tegh Bahadur. That happened in Delhi, in the national capital, where you have Gurdwara Seesganj today. And this controversy is escalating. I'll get you much more on this big story. I'm Gaurav Sawant. That's our top focus on 5 Live. Let's get started. The Maha War in Maharashtra over Samajwadi Party MLA Abu Azmi's comments on Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb has escalated. The Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Eknath Shinde, has hit out at Abu Azmi. Eknath Shinde says he sought the suspension of leaders like Abu Azmi from the Maharashtra State Assembly. Eknath Shinde says Abu Azmi's statement has consequences for the Samajwadi Party Maharashtra chief. Eknath Shinde said people of Maharashtra will not forgive Abu Azmi for statements like he gave on the cruel Mughal king Aurangzeb and the torture of Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj. I'll get you much more on this story, but first listen in to Maharashtra's Deputy Chief Minister and Shiv Sena leader Eknath Shinde.
ये अबू आजमी को महंगा पड़ेगा, ये महाराष्ट्र की जनता उनको माफ नहीं करेगी। अबू आजमी इसके बाद में हमारे देव देवताओं के बारे में अगर ऐसे कुछ वक्तव्य करेगा, स्टेटमेंट करेगा, तो महाराष्ट्र की जनता उन्हें माफ नहीं करेगी। निलंबन करने की मांग किया है और निलंबन होगा।
So even as the fire rages in Maharashtra, the Congress party has dived straight into this controversy. It's waded into this controversy where Abu Azmi of the Samajwadi Party praised Aurangzeb. Now, Congress party member of parliament Imran Masood says history cannot be erased. Imran Masood, Congress party member of parliament from Saharanpur, says Aurangzeb was not a tyrant. He was the king of this country. Aurangzeb ruled India for 49 years. He was not cruel. How could he have ruled for 49 years if he was cruel, is what Imran Masood of the Congress party said in an exclusive interview to India today. So first, it's the Samajwadi Party's MLA in Maharashtra and the Maharashtra Samajwadi Party chief Abu Azmi who stoked the Aurangzeb fire, and now Congress party member of parliament from Saharanpur in Uttar Pradesh, he's escalating it. Meanwhile, Abu Azmi has backtracked after Maharashtra-wide outrage. He says he is taking back his remarks on Aurangzeb. He wants work to continue in the Maharashtra Assembly. He does not want the Maharashtra Assembly to be disrupted because of his comments on Aurangzeb.
49 साल बादशाह रहा, उसके राज के अंदर जीडीपी कहां थी? आप कैसी बात कर रहे हैं? आप इतिहास पढ़िए ना। इतिहास को जब तक पढ़ा नहीं तब तक
औरंगजेब को क्या मानते हैं?
मैं कुछ नहीं मानता हूं। मैं बादशाह था एक हिंदुस्तान का जो खत्म हो गया, इसके अलावा क्या मानूंगा मैं? हिंदुस्तान का बादशाह था तो उसे आप जुटला दो कि बादशाह नहीं था वो।
तमाम मंदिरों को तोड़ने के इतिहास में
और किसने विजय कराया था? कैलाश मानसरोवर को किसने? जिस अखंड भारत की बात करते हो, वो अखंड भारत तो औरंगजेब के जमाने में ही था, लेके चाइना से और अफगानिस्तान से और नीचे तक वो अखंड भारत तो बर्मा तक औरंगजेब के जमाने में ही था ना। आप अखंड भारत की बात करते हो, तो ये पढ़िए पहले। मैं कह रहा हूं, मैं किसी की तारीफ कर रहा हूं ना किसी की बुराई कर रहा हूं, लेकिन ये कह रहा हूं कि अधूरा ज्ञान मत बांटो, ज्ञान पहले पढ़ो फिर उसके बाद बोलना।
The Shiv Sena, on the other hand, says, look at what Aurangzeb did to Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj. Look at Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's war for the Hindvi Swaraj, his war against the Mughal tyranny. And it wasn't just that it was restricted just to one part of Maharashtra. That war that subsequently ensured that the Mughals were uprooted, where the Peshwas took that war forward. But I want to bring in India Today's Ritvik Bhalekar, who joins us from Mumbai, and Rahul Gautam, who joins us from the National Capital on this big story. Ritvik, Abu Azmi is furiously backtracking now. He's backpedaling. He's apologized for his remarks. One, why has he apologized? Two, is his apology acceptable to the Shiv Sena, where Eknath Shinde insists that Abu Azmi has to be suspended from the assembly?
Absolutely. On the day 2 of Maharashtra's ongoing budget session, we saw how ruling alliance MLAs protested against the remark made by Abu Azmi glorifying Aurangzeb. After ruling alliance MLAs protested, it was followed by even some of the parties who are in opposition. So the ire was seen against him from all the parties in Maharashtra, and ruling alliance was demanding that Abu Azmi should not just be suspended from the assembly, but he should also be booked for sedition charge, as the statements has heard the sentiments of the Maharashtrians and Marathas, as well as he should not be allowed to stay in Maharashtra state, is what Chhatrapati Sambhaji Raje, former MP, has demanded. So the ruckus we saw today in Maharashtra Assembly, and the proceedings of the House were adjourned for 4 times and for the whole day.
This seems to be escalating, and this seems to be escalating at an exponential stage. If now there are leaders in Maharashtra, and that too from Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's, family and extended family, if they are also coming around and saying that you should not permit Abu Azmi even to live in Maharashtra if he praises Aurangzeb and belittles the sacrifices made by Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj.
Yes, absolutely. Former MP of Rajya Sabha, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, today visited Vidhan Bhavan, and he also protested against the remark of Abu Azmi. He questioned the government that what kind of law and order is being handled by the government, and how can someone like Abu Azmi, who has not just passed the derogatory statements but have also insulted the sentiments of lakhs of Marathas in Maharashtra, and he should be thrown out of the state, and he has no place to stay here, is what Chhatrapati Sambhaji Raje is demanding.
Okay, stay with me for a moment. I want to bring in Rahul Gautam for more on this story. So, Rahul, explain this to us. So even as Abu Azmi apologizes, even as Abu Azmi is backpedaling, you have Imran Masood, a Congress party member of parliament and a prominent leader in the Congress. He's escalating this. He appears to be escalating this. In that exclusive interview to India Today, he says Aurangzeb wasn't cruel at all. He ruled this country for 49 years, expanded the borders, made that Akhand Bharat. Explain the thinking. Explain this thinking.
Gaurav, this comment that was made by Imran Masood is likely to put Congress party in a tight spot. And if you remember earlier also, Rahul Gandhi had also very strong opinions against Dr. Savarkar. Now, Dr. Savarkar and Shambhaji Maharaj, Shivaji Maharaj, all these are icons that are held by Shiv Sena, UBT, which is the faction led by Uddhav Thackeray. Now, obviously, this is going to cause trouble in terms of alliance management. We have seen earlier also that how Sharad Pawar had earlier brokered a peace deal between Congress party and Shiv Sena and convinced Rahul Gandhi that he should not speak, against Dr. Savarkar at a time when elections were about to be conducted in the state of Maharashtra. So you can expect that this comment that has been made by Imran Masood, wherein he has endorsed the views that were earlier expressed by Abu Azmi, is likely to cause trouble. This is going to put the entire MVA alliance in a situation wherein they would have to distance themselves, at least the Shiv Sena faction that is led by Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar. Obviously, the other part is this, that Congress party has been saying that nowadays history is being distorted, films and biopics are being in a way to suit the narrative of the ruling party. This has been their stance. But, given the sentiments and, the kind of respect that Shambhaji Maharaj, Shivaji Maharaj, they have in state of Maharashtra, you can expect that this is certainly going to cause trouble amongst the alliance partners as far as Mahavikas Aghadi is concerned.
But, when they talk about distortion of history, the fact that Shambhaji Maharaj was captured, tortured over 40 days, limb by limb, skin peeled off, limbs chopped off, eyes gouged out, that's recorded history. The fact that Aurangzeb had the 9th Sikh Guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur, beheaded in the national capital, where you have Gurdwara Seesganj today. The fact Bhai Matidas, Bhai Satidas, Bhai Dayala, they were killed brutally on orders of Aurangzeb. Bhai Matidas was sawed alive vertically. Bhai Satidas was wrapped in cotton wool and set on fire. Bhai Dayala was boiled in a cauldron. Now, this is something like Islamic State kind of torture. This is recorded history. The fact that the 4 Sahibzades, the 4 sons of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, the manner in which they were killed, the youngest being just 6 years old, all this is recorded history. How is this distortion of history? Point one. How is it that they think that they'll say that Aurangzeb wasn't cruel and that will be acceptable to India? Is this as part of some kind of appeasement politics? The next elections, of course, in Bihar.
Well, this is what being alleged, that this is being done essentially to woo, minority votes or to appease, minority voters for the upcoming elections in Bihar. But as I was telling you earlier also, this is certainly going to cause troubles within MVA, given the fact that at least the regional parties of Maharashtra who are partner with Congress party, they, in fact, I must also tell our viewers that earlier, the district Aurangabad, the very name was, proposed to be changed to Sambhaji Nagar. That had happened during the chief ministership of Uddhav Thackeray. So all these, political parties, at least Shiv Sena, NCP, they draw inspiration and power from, these big ideological icons of Maharashtra, Shambhaji Maharaj, Shivaji Maharaj. So, this statement or this endorsement of statement by Imran Masood of Abu Azmi is certainly going to cause troubles. Also, we must understand that as far as Congress party is concerned, on record, the leaders are saying that this is a non-serious issue which is being stoked or being amplified by the BJP for political reasons. But off record, they are saying that one can't really, see things that had happened, 300 or 400 years back in today's perspective. And they believe that in today's world or today's scenario, biopics, history, all these things are being distorted by the ruling dispensation only to benefit or suit their narrative. So you can expect that this is certainly going to escalate, given the fact that by endorsing the views expressed by Abu Azmi, who himself have now backtracked from his statement, is certainly going to cause troubles within the alliance partners of MVA.
Okay, of course, it's recorded history. Masri Alamgiri records how the temples in 1669 and 1670, Aurangzeb issued instructions for the destruction of the Kashi Vishwanath temple and the Keshav Rai temple, the Sri Krishna Janmabhoomi in Mathura. All of this is recorded history then and not now. Distortion, how, remains that big question, because the latest controversy is centered around this film Chhaava. Chhaava means lion cub. Refers to Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, a national icon like Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, the founder of the Hindvi Swaraj. Of course, a lot of effort was made for decades after decades to show that he was just a regional king in Maharashtra and not a national icon who taught India to respect themselves and fight for what is right. But this led to a big face-off in Maharashtra between the Shiv Sena, and this is Shiv Sena, the Eknath Shinde group, fuming over Samajwadi Party MLA Abu Azmi claiming Aurangzeb was not cruel and that he's been wrongly portrayed in the film Chhawa. Abu Azmi has now been backed by Imran Masood of the Congress party, but under intense pressure, Abu Azmi has apologized. The controversy continues to escalate.
तो आप औरंगजेब को क्रूर शासक नहीं मानते हैं?
नहीं, मैं नहीं मानता।
औरंगजेब क्रूर शासक नहीं है?
बिल्कुल नहीं, मैं बिल्कुल क्रूर शासक नहीं मानता।
An explosive showdown in Maharashtra over Mughal ruler Aurangzeb. After his depiction as a tyrant pitted against the Maratha Empire in Vicky Kaush's Chhawa, SP MLA Abu Azmi sparked a massive controversy after calling Aurangzeb a benevolent emperor who helped Hindu temples and is wrongly portrayed in the movie.
सब गलत हिस्ट्री दिखाई जा रही है। औरंगजेब रहमतुल्लाह अलैह ने बहुत सारी मंदिरें बनवाई हैं और आप बनारस में जाकर देखेंगे एक बच्ची, पंडित की बच्ची को जब उनका ही एक सिपाही सालार उसके साथ शादी करना चाहता था, उन्होंने उस सिपाही सालार को 2 हाथियों के बीच पैर बांध करके वो मार दिया और उन पंडितों ने उनके लिए एक मस्जिद बना के दिया वहाँ पर। क्या बात करते हैं, ये गलत हिस्ट्री।
तो आप औरंगजेब को क्रूर शासक नहीं मानते हैं?
नहीं, मैं नहीं मानता।
औरंगजेब क्रूर शासक नहीं है?
बिल्कुल नहीं, मैं बिल्कुल क्रूर शासक नहीं मानता।
Maratha groups and Maharashtra netas erupted in protest. Questioning praise for the Mughal ruler who is seen by many as persecutor of Hindus and destroyer of temples, multiple places in Maharashtra saw anti-Aurangzeb stir. A zero FIR was filed against Abu Azmi and his suspension from assembly loomed large.
अबू आझमी छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराज आणि संभाजी महाराजांचा जाणीवपूर्वक अपमान करतो। हा खरं म्हणजे छत्रपती संभाजी महाराजांनी देशासाठी बलिदान केलं, म्हणजे हा अबू आझमी देशद्रोही आहे, देशद्रोही आहे। आणि म्हणून या देशद्रोहाला या सभागृहामध्ये बसण्याचा अधिकार, या सभागृहामध्ये बसण्याचा अधिकार या देशद्रोही अबू आझमी याला नाहीये।
अबू आझमींसारख्या लोकांच्या मुळे आज हे वातावरण खराब करण्याचे हे जे काही प्रयत्न करतायत, जिहाद्यांना हे प्रोत्साहन देत आहेत ना, म्हणून यांची ही वळवळ या आमच्या हिंदुत्ववादी सरकारच्या काळात आम्ही चालून देणार नाही।
Azmi was however supported by ally Congress, which termed Aurangzeb an emperor portrayed in bad light.
औरंगजेब पे इल्जाम है कि उसने मंदिर तोड़वाए। उसने मंदिर तोड़वाए भी, उसने मंदिरों को जायदाद, जमीन और पैसे भी दिए। क्या बीजेपी की सरकार गुजरात के अंदर मंदिर नहीं तोड़वाए? आपने 300 मंदिर तोड़वा दिए गुजरात के अंदर। आप तो मस्जिदें भी तोड़वा रहे हैं और मंदिर भी तोड़वा रहे हैं। इतिहास को इतिहास रहने दीजिए।
Amid Maha-upheaval on his remarks, Abu Azmi blinked, saying that he retracts his statement as it has hurt feelings.
अगर इन चीज़ों से किसी को वो लगता है कि इसको तोड़ मरोड़ के पेश करके किसी को लगता है कि मैंने गलत बोला है, तो भाई मैं अपने पूरे स्टेटमेंट को वापस लेता हूँ। असेंबली चलना चाहिए, असेंबली में बहुत सारे काम है। इन इशू पर असेंबली रोकी जाए, मैं समझता हूँ ये महाराष्ट्र की जनता का बहुत सारा काम रुकेगा।
Will the climb down by the SP MLA douse the raging Aurangzeb fire in Maharashtra? Bureau Report, India Today.
And let me now shift focus to the other big story we're tracking here on India Today, and it's a murder most foul. We urge viewer discretion. Some of the information I'm about to give you can be very disturbing. It's a murder so gruesome, it sent shockwaves across the country. An individual was tortured, and as his tormentors took videos of torturing him, they urinated on him. This is the fate of a sarpanch in Maharashtra. A sarpanch in Beed, Santosh Deshmukh. His fault, according to those who are alleged to have killed him, he tried to stop an extortion bid. Shocking details have now come in public domain. The Mumbai police have filed a charge sheet. India Today has accessed details of that charge sheet, and it's led to the arrest of a senior minister's close aide in the Maharashtra, and this led to the resignation of the minister Dhananjay Munde. The murder accused in the videos, and some of those videos we cannot even show you, they're so disturbing. They show absolutely no remorse. They mock the victim. As he begs for water, they urinate on him and beat him to death. I get you more in this report.
A murder so gruesome, it sends shivers down your spine. Santosh Deshmukh, a sarpanch in Maharashtra's Beed district, tortured and murdered in December last year for attempting to foil an alleged extortion bid targeting an energy company. The Mumbai police have arrested 6 accused, and India Today has accessed damning details in the charge sheet. That gives details of the photos and videos of the brutality. Santosh Deshmukh was thrashed with iron rods, sticks and iron chains. He was stripped, then tied to a car during the assault. When the victim asked for water, an accused urinated on his face and forced him to sit on the ground half naked. It did not stop there. More images emerged of the murder accused urinating on a profusely bleeding Deshmukh. He endured the torture for over 3 hours. The murder accused showed no remorse, making video and audio calls and recording multiple videos of the assault. A 41-inch gas pipe, an iron rod with 5 clutch wires, wooden sticks and 2 sharp weapons, fighter and dahakati, were used by the accused to torture Deshmukh. 6 people have been arrested for the heinous murder, while 1 is still on the run. One of the accused, Valmik Karad, is a close aide of NCP leader Dhananjay Munde. Under tremendous pressure, Munde on Tuesday stepped down as minister, citing ill health.
मैंने ये इस्तीफा स्वीकृत किया है और अगली कार्रवाई के लिए मैंने ये इस्तीफा राज्यपाल जी के पास भेज दिया है.
मी त्याचंही स्वागत करते. हा राजीनामा फार आधी व्हायला पाहिजे होता. हा राजीनामापेक्षा शपथच नाही व्हायला पाहिजे होती. तर या सगळ्या गोष्टींना पुढच्या भोगांना कदाचित सामोरं जावं लागलं नसतं. घेणाऱ्यांनी सुद्धा आधी घ्यायला पाहिजे होता. धनंजयनी सुद्धा आधी राहायला पाहिजे होता.
NCP Chief and Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar ducked questions on Munde's resignation. The opposition claims law and order is failing in Maharashtra. The Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi is demanding Dhananjay Munde be made a co-accused.
मैं यही कहता हूं कि एक रेजिग्नेशन से कुछ होने वाला नहीं है. चार्जशीट अमेंड होनी चाहिए, इम्प्रोवाइज चार्जशीट आनी चाहिए, फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट में ये सारा मामला होना चाहिए.
हम सबका ये भी कहना है कि उनको ये जो केस चल रही है मर्डर के, उसमें अभी सह आरोपी करना चाहिए और पारदर्शक पद्धति ने, ट्रांसपेरेंट पद्धति ने उनकी वहां पे इंक्वायरी भी होनी चाहिए, ऐसा हम सबका कहना है.
The gruesome murder of the Sarpanch fighting extortion has exposed the ugly nexus between politicians and criminals in Beed, where many windmill power generation projects are coming up. Bureau Report, India Today.
And India Today's accessed chilling details recorded in the charge sheet against the accused. So Santosh Deshmukh, he's the Sarpanch in Beed area, and he had exposed this extortion racket. So they caught hold of him. The accused, they caught hold of him. They wanted him not to make that extortion complaint. So they beat him, and I want to get you these details. So they beat him with iron rods. They beat him with sticks and with motorcycle chains. That's the information that we've been able to glean. Let me also get you more information. He was stripped and tied to a vehicle so that when he's beaten, he's unable to run away. Deshmukh was tortured for hours. Santosh Deshmukh, the Sarpanch, was tortured for hours. He begged for water. So when he begged for water, instead of giving him water to drink, they actually urinated on his face. That's not all. They made him sit without clothes on the ground, half naked, and as he lay bleeding, they urinated on him again, all over again. It happened for hours. With a 41-inch gas pipe, they were beating him, and they beat him to death. Not only that, they actually recorded a video, and not one, multiple videos and photographs, videos and audios. They made audio calls to each other during this assault. The accused, on their own mobile phones, were recording this. Not one, not two, not three, but 15 videos were made. 8 photographs of the assault were clicked by the accused themselves, because they apparently, and this is the information, and I'll get you more details on this in just a moment, this is what the Mumbai police charge sheet says, because they wanted to establish themselves as the law, as the power behind the power. I want to quickly cut across to India Today's Mustafa Sheikh, who joins us with more on this big story. Mustafa, this is shocking. Give us more details in terms of the accused and the alleged link that forced the Minister Munde to put in his papers. What legal and penal action now follow?
Exactly, Gaurav, you were sharing the details from the charge sheet which has been filed by the state CID in this case. This is not just a gruesome crime. It seems to be a crime which is connected with the political influence, and that's where the big story is, that in the area of Bid, there were politicians who were trying to establish themselves as people who will have the last word in the area. So this Santosh Deshmukh entire case had started when these people, these accused, had reached to ask for extortion from owner of a company who had set up a plant there. And Santosh Deshmukh, being a sarpanch of that village, he stood up to that for the help of that company, for help of that businessman, saying that you cannot extort money from the businessman. That it was the ego of these accused which was hurt. They abducted him, as you mentioned, the chilling details which has come forward. But at the same time, when the name of Valmik Karat came up, who is connected in a business way to Dhananjay Deshmukh, who has just resigned as the Minister of Food and Civil Supplies in the cabinet of Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. So Dhananjay Munde and Valmik Karat's link were being established for over past 3 months. There were information after information which was coming out to show how the politicians were trying to grab the business area of Bid and run an extortion racket there. It doesn't end here. Now the CID will be further investigating whether somehow Dhananjay Munde is involved, how his link can be established. But at the same point, the photos of this entire the cruelty which has been committed by the accused came out in the charge sheets 3 months later, and then there was an uproar in the people, in the public, that there seems to be a straight connection, and the government is delaying Dhananjay Munde's resignation. And yesterday a meeting was called in which Devendra Fadnavis, the Chief Minister, and Ajit Pawar, the NCP chief, was present, after which this decision was taken that Munde should resign on the moral grounds. And the further investigations will now happen. Back to you.
Further investigations, and that is what becomes very important. And stay with me, don't go away, Mustafa, because this story is only escalating. And Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray group leader Uddhav Thackeray has launched a frontal attack on the Devendra Fadnavis government on the Dhananjay Munde case. Now, right now, Uddhav Thackeray says, did the Maharashtra Home Ministry not have details that have come out now in the charge sheet? Uddhav Thackeray has pointed out that these videos were available, these pictures were available, details were available. Why is it that Dhananjay Munde has only been told to resign now, and why not earlier? But that's not all. Uddhav Thackeray is saying this is a big failure of the Home Ministry of Maharashtra, and the Maharashtra government must respond not just to the delay but also on what action is being taken. This is the question that's now being asked. So a minister being asked to resign on moral grounds is not action enough. One, what is the legal culpability? What is the evidence? And this is the question that's now being asked of the investigators. What is the evidence that links the extortionists and the alleged murderers to the team of the ministers, and where does the chain go, and what legal action follows? That's a very, very big aspect. But listen in to Uddhav Thackeray. I'll get you more on this big story.
यही एक सवाल है कि जिस तरीके के सब फोटो और वीडियो कल आ गए बाहर, तो क्या होम डिपार्टमेंट के पास ये जानकारी पहले नहीं आई थी? अगर आई होगी तो क्यों इतने दिन लगाए? इतने दिन क्यों लगाए? और नहीं आई होगी तो क्या अपने होम डिपार्टमेंट की जो सिस्टम है तो वो तो नाकामयाबी उनकी है। नाकामयाबी फिर होम डिपार्टमेंट की है। तो ये सारी बातों का उत्तर गवर्नमेंट को देना होगा।
I want to bring in Mustafa Sheikh once again because Mustafa, this is a very, very disturbing story and there is merit in Uddhav Thackeray saying what was the Home Ministry in the state doing all along when the videos were available, when the photographs were available and this conversation was happening, evidence was there. Why is it that the minister has been asked to resign only now?
It's a valid question, Gaurav, saying that whatever videos and footages which have come as part of the charge sheet as a video grab were already available with the State Department, with the police, and why, if an action can take place when there's an uproar after the charge sheet is leaked, why the action was not taken earlier. Maybe it somewhere hints to the alliance politics which it all boils down to, whether or not there was an attempt to save, because Dhananjay Munjal is from the NCP. The NCP is in the ruling alliance in Mahayuti. In December 9th, this entire murder had taken place. It was in November that Devendra Fadnavis Mahayuti 2.0 government was formed. So clearly the questions are being raised, and importantly, Gaurav, the most important part here is that nobody is asking for an investigation against Dhananjay Munde, but the MLAs of the BJP, the ruling alliance. Suresh Das, who is an MLA from the BJP from the same area, he is the person from the first day who is leading this charge against Dhananjay Munde, saying that Dhananjay Munde should resign because of his involvement in this crime and many other extortion rackets which are operating in Bid. So it is for the police to find out the truth, but it is the sitting government's MLAs, representatives who have been saying. The cousin sister of Dhananjay Munde, she's also a minister, Pankaja Munde, yes, she's saying that it's good that the resignation has come. The resignation has come late on the moral ground. It should have come earlier. Such defamation of the family would have stopped for last 3 months. So clearly it's the ruling party who is basically giving all the evidences, but the resignation is not coming, which has come today, and now the questions are being raised by the opposition as to why it was so late and whether now the resignation has come so late, so whether fair investigation or probe will take place against Munde. Back to you.
Keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. Maharashtra has to be that driver if India's economy has to catapult and become the third largest economy in the world, and that clearly won't happen if we have extortion rackets going on where industries and businesses need to be set up. We'll be tracking that story very closely. Welcome back. Big story coming in from Uttar Pradesh, where Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has hailed the spectacular success of the Mahakumbh. Yogi Adityanath spoke of how the Mahakumbh had played a very important role in steering the economy, not just of the region, but also the country, with 66 crore devotees from India and overseas visiting Prayagraj. 5 new religious corridors are coming up, including from Prayagraj to Kashi and Prayagraj to Ayodhya. He also spoke of how this had helped the local economy, how global media had hailed this. He hit out at the Samajwadi Party for spreading misinformation, disinformation, including fake videos and stories about the Prayagraj Mahakumbh and how that had failed to dampen the morale of the Sanatan Dharma followers. Listen.
महोदय, विदेशी मीडिया ने भी जो टिप्पणियां की हैं महाकुंभ प्रयागराज के बारे में, द वॉल स्ट्रीट जर्नल ने जो यूएस की है, यह एक ऐसा आयोजन था जहां अमेरिका की कुल आबादी से ज्यादा लोग जुटे। बीबीसी, महाकुंभ मानवता का सबसे बड़ा समागम था। एक्सप्रेस ट्रिब्यून, यह विश्व का सबसे बड़ा धार्मिक समारोह था। द न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स, यह आयोजन में केवल श्रद्धालु और पर्यटक ही नहीं बल्कि नेता और हस्तियां भी पहुंची थी। राइटर्स, यह डिजिटल कुंभ था। इसमें व्यवस्था बनाने के लिए तकनीक की बेहतरीन इस्तेमाल किया गया था। द गार्डियन, यह पर्वों का पर्व था। लोगों की उमंग और उत्साह चरम पर रहा। CNN, दुनिया के सबसे बड़े धार्मिक समागम में 60 करोड़ से ज्यादा लोग शामिल हुए। यह आस्था की अभिव्यक्ति की शानदार नजारा है। आज की समाजवादी पार्टी डॉक्टर लोहिया का नाम तो लेती है, लेकिन डॉक्टर लोहिया के मूल्यों और आदर्शों से बहुत दूर जा चुकी है। दोनों मुद्दों पर, आचरण के मुद्दों पर भी और आदर्श के मुद्दों पर भी। आपका आचरण, जो डॉक्टर लोहिया ने कहा था, एक सच्चा समाजवादी वह जो संपत्ति और संतति से दूर रहे, वो तो आपकी पार्टी के आचरण से देख सकते हैं। और आदर्श के रूप में उन्होंने भारत के लिए कहा था कि राम, कृष्ण और शंकर, ये जब तक भारत के 3 आदर्श हैं तब तक भारत का कोई बाल बांका नहीं कर सकता है। भारत की एकात्मता के आधार इन 3 देव महापुरुषों को जब तक भारत की जनता आदर्श के रूप में मानेगी तब तक भारत भारत बना रहेगा। और इन तीनों देव महापुरुषों पर समाजवादी पार्टी का कोई विश्वास नहीं है।
I quickly want to cut across to my colleague Kumar Abhishek, who joins us live from Lucknow for more on this. अभिषेक, जब हम बात करते हैं आस्था के इस महाकुंभ की, जहां पर त्रिवेणी संगम में आपको और मुझे, हम दोनों को एक साथ डुबकी लगाने का वो सौभाग्य भी मिला था, उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ किस तरह से इस महाकुंभ को भारत की एक बड़ी सफलता, सनातन की एक बड़ी सफलता के रूप में देख रहे हैं? उनके हिसाब से क्या सबसे बड़ी उपलब्धि थी?
बिल्कुल गौरव, देखिए मुख्यमंत्री ने आज बजट सेशन के बिल्कुल आखिर में जब उन्होंने भाषण किया है तो उनका पूरा जो सदन के भीतर भाषण था वो कुंभ पर फोकस था, कुंभ और सनातन। और इसके लिए उन्होंने समाजवादी पार्टी को भी खूब घेरा है। विदेशी जितने अखबार हैं जो उन्होंने लिखा है कुंभ के बारे में बाकायदा, उसके हाइलाइट्स उन्होंने सदन में बताए हैं। यही नहीं, कुंभ पर उंगली उठाने वालों को उन्होंने खूब अपनी तरफ से जमकर खरी खोटी सुनाई है। इसके अलावा अगर बात की जाए बजट को लेकर, उन्होंने कई बातें कह दी है कि 3.5 लाख करोड़ इस महाकुंभ से उत्तर प्रदेश के इकोनॉमी में इजाफा हो रहा है। इसके अलावा जिस तरीके से उन्होंने चाचा शिवपाल को घेरा है कि आप नहीं जा पाए, तो एक तरीके से आज के इस भाषण में उन्होंने एक तरफ सपा को घेरा और दूसरी तरफ सनातन और कुंभ की खूब चर्चा की है।
ये भी कहा कि इसका असर 2027 में देखने को मिलेगा। अभिषेक, आप मेरे साथ जुड़े, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। Let's now shift focus to the big international story that we're tracking here on India Today. And just days after that heated face-off that took place at the Oval Office at the White House, Donald Trump, the US president, has hit the pause button on military aid to Ukraine. And this would put President Zelensky and Europe under intense pressure. On the one side, you have President Putin's army that's bombing Ukraine's energy infrastructure. On the other hand, Ukraine will no longer get military supplies from America till they sort out the road ahead. Give more clarity on the road ahead. Take a look.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
The explosive Trump-Zelensky meeting snowballs into a big diplomatic war. Days after the heated argument in the White House, Trump hits a pause on military aid for Ukraine to pressurize Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to engage in peace talks with Russia.
Well, I just think he should be more appreciative because this country has stuck with them through thick and thin. We've given them much more than Europe, and Europe should have given more than us because, as you know, that's right there, that's the border. I want all of those young people to stop being killed. They're being killed by the thousands every single week, and that's not young people from the United States, but it's on a human basis. I want to see it stop.
Trump said Zelensky should be more appreciative of U.S. military aid in the Russia-Ukraine war, and both countries should make a deal and put a stop to all the killings.
You know, of course they have their views, and of course they're not always going to agree with us, but they've got to participate in the conversation. They weren't willing to do that on Friday, so the president said send them home. The president is actually taking a much more realistic perspective and saying this can't go on forever. We can't fund this thing forever. The Ukrainians can't fight forever, so let's bring this thing to a peaceful settlement.
The pause by Trump government freezes shipments to Ukraine, including critical munitions such as anti-tank weapons, thousands of artillery rounds and rockets, which keeps the country afloat in its war against Russia. US has provided $31.7 billion for military aid to Ukraine in August 2021. Zelensky has also got 12,000 anti-armor systems, over 1,550 anti-aircraft missiles from NATO allies. Apart from $34.8 billion for border control, anti-terrorism ops and demining operations from the US. US in 2025 gave Ukraine $65.9 billion in military assistance. $69.2 billion in military assistance around February 2024.
The lack of security guarantees for Ukraine 11 years ago allowed Russia to begin with the occupation of Crimea and the war in Donbass. Later, the absence of security guarantees enabled Russia to launch a full-scale invasion. And now, due to the lack of clear security guarantees, Russia is keeping this war ongoing. The world sees this, and the whole world acknowledges it.
While stopping military aid for Ukraine, Trump has decided to give relief to Russia. The US is drawing up a plan to give Russia relief from sanctions as President Donald Trump seeks to restore ties with Moscow. All this after explosive war of words between Zelensky and Trump.
You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. But right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people.
Is Ukraine staring at no option but to strike a forced truce with invader Putin? Bureau Report, India Today.
And after US President Donald Trump pressed the pause button on military supplies to Ukraine, Kiev has said it will do all it can to maintain ties with the United States of America. I want to get India Today's Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan joining us with details on the story. So Geeta, there are two tracks that President Trump is following. One track is stopping military aid to Ukraine. The other is talking about how the funds freeze from Russia can be removed. What's the next step there? So Ukraine and Europe have reason to be worried.
Well, absolutely, because there are a few aspects, Gaurav, if I heard you correctly. It has to do with the fact that America has pulled out of Ukraine when it comes to military aid. But on the other hand, they're also looking at easing sanctions against Russia. That certainly will get Europe worried, Gaurav, because that's a very important aspect of how this entire geopolitical landscape is going to pan out for the next 4 years. Russia has time. Russia has the advantage. If and should they be removed from the sanctions in various quarters, then their economy will again strengthen. That should worry Europe, which is trying to lessen its dependency on Russian oil, Russian products and Russian industry. It will also allow Russia to gain in strength when it comes to re-mobilizing its resources towards defense production. So there are so many aspects right now. It's all up in the air. How is Europe going to respond to Trump? What is Keir Starmer going to take to Trump when it comes to that EU summit that took place on Ukraine? So there are a lot of options. America will have to consider all of that when they start engaging not just Europe but also Russia.
Keep tracking that story, Geeta. I will come back to you for more. For the moment, many thanks. Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited and inaugurated Anant Ambani's Vantara, an animal rescue, conservation and rehabilitation center in Jamnagar, Gujarat. Now, Vantara is home to more than 2,000 species, over 1.5 lakh rescued, endangered and threatened animals. Here's a video released by the Prime Minister's office.